Hi there, Scott Hamilton, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review for your ears. This time I'm going to be talking about Season 3 of Amazon Prime's The Boys. First up, I've made some changes in my home studio, only the beginning of things that are coming. So if it sounds a little bit different than the last podcast, sorry about that, but it's going to be steadily improving as we go along over the next few weeks. At the end of the podcast, I'm going to do something I don't usually do, and it's something I'm going to start adding every once in a while, giving you a preview of things coming up, because I have some things in the pipeline that are pretty exciting. But we're here to talk about The Boys. A little background. I really loved the first season. It was edgy. It was surprising. Did some crazy things, sometimes just to do crazy things, but that's the comic and that's the comic writer. It's what he's done with other properties he's created. Season 2, I didn't like as much. I liked where it ended up, but I thought it took its time getting there. I wasn't completely satisfied with everybody's arc. I thought we developed a decent villain. I don't know, just the second season, I wasn't excited about the third season in any way, shape, or form. And it came on, I was watching some other things, and I was doing some other things. I just wasn't excited about it. So it's been out there for a couple weeks before I started watching it. And I got through it pretty quickly, actually, because I liked the third season. A couple people have told me that, they weren't sure if they liked it or not. Finishing it up, I did like it. I feel we got a little bait and switch, and we'll get to that. I don't want to get into heavy spoilers, but there was a bit of a bait and switch. But that's to be expected with these these modern TV streaming shows, I guess we should say. I liked everybody's arc better. I'm not going to go into great detail because I literally just finished it and it's a little bit late, but even the surprising stuff, the stuff they throw in there to make you go, oh, wow, I can't believe they did that on TV. Like the giant penis in the first episode. Well, point of view, anyway. And some of the things that happened later on, like the hero-gasm, felt a bit more in line with what was going on than some of the stuff that happened in the second season. Not that those things aren't shock-inducing, and that's exactly why they're there, but I just thought it all fit better, felt more organic to the story than what happened in some of what happened in the second season. Third season adds Jensen Ackles from Supernatural fame. He's made a couple of movies, and I was really wondering if he could pull off getting out of that show. When you're on a show for 15 years, that's kind of a big deal. A decade and a half of doing anything is a big deal. And you kind of get, you don't want to say typecast or locked in, but over 15 years. So I thought he was great. I thought he really knocked it out of the park. When they announced he was going to join the show, I'm like, they couldn't get somebody. Well, they've got all pretty decent actors, at least in the main roles. They couldn't have got somebody bigger, but he was perfect for Soldier Boy. The way he played it, the way it turned out, zero complaints. I thought he was really, really good in it. I thought everybody was good this season. I think Homelander, Anthony Starr, is that his name? I think he's freaking amazing as Homelander. I really haven't, if I know that I've seen him in other things, I didn't notice. I will seek out some of his other roles because he's so amazing in this role. So my friends are like, well, he's just playing kind of a crazy superhero. There's all sorts of layers and simmering things, and sometimes he reacts exactly how you expect, sometimes he exact opposite of how you expect. It's just not only well written, but how he plays the character. If he doesn't get an Emmy nomination this year, it's just amazing. Everybody else does pretty well. The Maeve character is sidelined through a lot of the season. I was thinking this while watching it, not that the shows are related, but adding Jensen Ackles to The Boys elevated The Boys. It made it a better show to have him in there doing what he was doing. Stranger Things added the actor who was in Booksmart. He hasn't been in any of the other Stranger Things, but all of a sudden he played a big role in this last season. I'm trying to remember his name, but it's escaping me. He didn't add much. It's like they added him because that's the he plays that role like Barney Fife plays Barney Fife, or the character actor who plays a character actor. And he didn't elevate the story. He just kind of made it a sameness, like other movies and TV shows the guy's been in. Not saying anything about the actor. I really like him and what he does. I just thought adding Jensen Ackles to this, really, yeah. They concentrate on the love interest between the French non-superhero and the Asian, is she or is she not a superhero? That's a pretty good arc. What they do with Butcher, I like. Jack Quaid's character and Starlight, I think, yeah, not everybody got their full due. Some people went in directions that you didn't expect. But that's what happens with these comic book TV shows. They're playing out these melodramatic storylines to the nth degree, sometimes with shocking ends, sometimes with tragic ends. They took out some characters early on, which was interesting. That's always cool when it happens. But overall, I thought the third season was quite successful. I still like the first season the best, but first season on most things are best because you're getting used to the universe that they've created. I think they're doing what they need to do. I think they were finding their way in season 2, and they've nailed it. So looking forward to season 4. Minor spoilers followed by some upcoming things. They promise us, so this is spoiler talk. They promise us basically a showdown between Butcher and Homelander that doesn't quite happen. Happens a little. I think that was the bait and switch part. And I'm not complaining about how things turned out or how the episode ended or how the season ended. You just kind of expected it to be a final fight, and it wasn't. So we'll see what happens going forward. That being said, if you've watched the first 2 seasons of The Boys and like me, you weren't excited about season 3, get excited. I thought it was pretty great. Now that we've seen things like the spin-off Suicide Squad show on HBO, James Gunn did, that was pretty spectacular. Chose basically this kind of show and tone to do. Funny that The Boys is still more rated R than something James Gunn did. That's interesting. Enjoyed the 3rd season much more than the 2nd season. Looking forward to the 4th. There's my review. So things coming up. First of all, I mentioned I'm going to be upgrading gear. I've been doing podcasts for a couple years now. I've been doing the internet radio thing for a decade now. I'm back in FM radio, and my ears are getting better, I guess. I'm getting back up to a level that I was professionally. And so some of this studio equipment I have here is just, it's consumer grade, and it's fine. It sounds good when I process it, or I don't really do a whole lot to my voice, but, I run it through a couple things to make it sound louder a little bit, even things out. But a better mic, a better audio interface, better speakers to mix it on, that's coming. So it's not something I can afford to do immediately, but over the next few weeks. So you will hear steps and upgrades going forward with these podcasts. Getting back to a regular thing too, now that I've really spread out in this office, the actually microphone is quite far away from the computer, which should isolate it from some of the noise and stuff that was in some of the previous podcasts. So there's that. For those who have become my friend through the medical cannabis thing in Florida, we're going to be ramping up the Alaska version and putting it all under one umbrella. You're hearing about it here first. We're going to use the Dave's Daily List name that we came up with to post the specials in Florida under a different name and use that for everything we're going to do going forward, me and my partners. So I bought a domain last weekend. I'm working on a site right now. It'll be simple to start, but for those in Alaska, Florida, and pretty much any legal state, it'll be a resource for information, news, and hopefully some entertainment. So that's on the way very, very soon. For those in Alaska who happen to be on the peninsula, I'm about to start a movie club. There's a lot of movie fans here. I'm impressed, actually, with the number of people who go to the movies here. I just didn't think that was as much as it is fishing, hiking, and a lot of tourism and stuff. The movie theaters, when the big movies have opened and played for several weeks, the people do go to the movies here quite a bit. So I've talked to a lot of people who want to know what's going on and want to do it. We're going to start a radio program. It's probably going to be about a 2-minute long segment each week, 1 to 2 minutes. Where I'll talk about new movies coming out and that kind of thing. And then we'll tie that into a movie club we'll have where we'll invite people. We're going to try and find some sponsors and have a party before the movie kind of thing. And then I'll go see the movie together, maybe talk about it after kind of thing. Kind of have a movie club. Why not? This market, this area lends itself to that kind of thing, and people seem to be open to it. So that's coming as well. I'm wrapping up the new Alaska thing. Again, if you're in Alaska, this pertains to you. There's still another week and a half left of it. I've really enjoyed it, and we're talking about extending it and doing more with it in the future, so that's kind of cool. We've also got some water bottle stickers we're going to be doing. Radio stations usually do bumper stickers, and not too many people are putting bumper stickers on their cars, and everybody here in Alaska carries a giant thermos or water bottle, and they tend to adorn them with stickers. So we got 1 to 2 inch versions of our logos that we're going to hand out, limited edition, and we only got 500 of each logo. And then if they go well and people seem to like them, we'll get into limited edition ones like metallic or gold or glow in the dark or whatever. So that's also something coming. Last but not least, I'll be doing more than just podcasts. I'm setting up the studio here to be able to do YouTube videos too. I want to get back to doing more of that. The artist interviews, I'm going to upgrade my internet so I can do some artist interviews. That's probably a couple of months away, but not too far. So all of this in the near future. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following me on this journey. It's been interesting so far, and it's only getting better from here. Got some big plans, and now I have the opportunities to make those plans happen. There's a whole new YouTube channel coming, multiple podcasts with multiple people coming. This new board is going to allow me to do all sorts of things I've never been able to do before here, so get excited. Winter is coming. By the end of October and middle of November, it's going to be starting to get pretty chilly here. By December, we'll be getting into some snow and long nights as we're just starting to move away from those 20-hour of daylight days. I will have plenty of time to produce things because unlike the summer here in Alaska where everybody's go, 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 go while the sun is up, not so much in the wintertime. There's only a few hours of light during the day, and people tend to go home early and go to bed early and hibernate and catch up on the sleep they didn't get over the summer. So that will be the time I use to produce here in this little office I'm building. Thanks for checking out this podcast. Sorry it turned out to be more than what you thought. You should watch The Boys if you've watched the first 2 seasons. If you've never watched a season of The Boys, well, watch the first episode of the first season. If you can get through that, you could probably get through the rest of the season. All right, seasons. I'm Scott Hamilton. I'm ROCKFILE. My links are below if you want to join the other things. I'm wrapping up some new content that will be regularly posted in the Patreon section for the paying members of the group. So if you'd like to check that out, please do so. And have a spectacular day.